What's up, guys? I think we're live, but still waiting for confirmation. Yeah, it looks good, huh? I think we're live. Perfect. So, welcome, guys. It's been a while since we did a stream, and we've got a pretty special occasion for today to have this stream, because Markus had the idea to stream a small match between us. Maybe this can become more of a regular thing. But we will start with this one at least. So we're gonna stream a match on 14 games. This is the plan. So the first player to reach 7.5 points basically wins the match. And yeah, really looking forward to that. I think we're gonna start in a second. So welcome to all of you. I think it's gonna be really exciting. Just a quick backstory. Hang on, Markus is calling me. Just a quick second. So I think everything is fine now because we are facing small technical difficulties because it's our first time with all of that. So hope that's not too big of an issue. And we decided to have both of our cams, which I guess is is a nice addition. In case any of us are blundering, then you might see both of our reactions. So welcome everyone. We're about to start the match. Just a quick maybe backstory about Markus. So he's been the long time Austrian number one. Only now since Alexienko has changed to Austria, this has changed. But apart from that, he's been Austria's number one for many, many years. Probably almost as long as I've been born for. And he was a 2700 player at one point, which is nothing. Nothing. Apologies for that. Nothing easy to achieve is what I wanted to say. So yeah, let's see. Of course, we had a couple of games already against each other, but looking forward to this one. I will accept his challenge now, so I hope he's ready. And I would say let's go. I hope he's ready. Let's see. And I guess he's gonna go for e4. Yeah, let's see what he's got. What he's got here. Probably the Italian. Of course, the Italian. Let's go for this line with d6. Checked this some time ago. So he goes for this. I think we're supposed to go f5 here. If d3, queen f6 is supposed to be the way to go here. There are a couple of recent games here. He takes here. I think I'm supposed to take back. So d3 is the main line. I don't think that this line is supposed to be so dangerous. Let's go e4. Knight f6, maybe d5. Is he prepared here? Be quite surprising. Looks a bit awkward the way he's playing. Maybe I should have gone to e7, but it does look pretty healthy like this as well. Let's go h6. Yeah, now it's the question how I get rid of this whole pin. Could go g5, but it's definitely a weakening move. try this. Looks quite strange, but probably is also quite strange. Allowing him to take on f6. So he goes here. I think 97 was a pretty terrible move, honestly. Pretty terrible move. Let's go bishop g6. Thank you, guys. I will definitely need the good luck against Markus. Okay, let's castle. Hi, Emilia. Welcome to the chat. It's the first game of the match, by the way, for everyone tuning in. And we are going to play for on 14 games. So the first one to reach 7.5 points wins the match. So he doesn't take on Bisaun, which of course I'm quite happy to see. Let's go Queen c7, attack h2. He goes for that. And now it feels like I shouldn't really be in a lot of danger here. Not sure if knight f5 was entirely necessary, but seems like his knight on e3 is a good piece and I should try to exchange it. So he goes c4. If I take, is he gonna take back with the f pawn? Let's find out. I think he's not gonna do it because I can just go back bishop e6. Yeah, that seems more reasonable. I think I should have a good position here. I'll give you 10 euros if you play the London. 10 euros are nice, but don't want to lose any respect I've gotten left. I wanted to take with a knight here, but now I'm seeing that knight c4 could come. Oh. Should I still go for it? Yeah, let's take with the pawn. b6 is a bit of an ugly move, but let's go for this. b6 weakens the a6 square, so not such a big fan of doing that. But maybe now, actually. Unless I'm not blundering anything. Bishop b5, I can just move my queen. Shouldn't be an issue. Well, the question is where, but well, maybe let's go here. Just to keep the 8th rank protected. He goes back here. Okay, let me just try to exchange and go rook c8 next. I'm definitely not better here, but I don't think I should be worse either. Kind of hard to believe. Maybe some queen a4. Yeah, so therefore he goes b3. Very smart play. I don't know what I'm doing, but gotta move. Still shouldn't be anything for white. Just don't know exactly what I'm doing here. Goes back. Gonna go back as well. We are playing with 1 second increment, by the way. So he plays on with f3. Let's go back here. Why did I go here and not to e6, by the way? Oof, I'm already close to blundering. Knight takes f5 followed by bishop d3 was there. That's still okay. Let's try to stop g4. things are heating up. Whoops, let's try some stuff here. It's probably not doing anything. Queen c7, h4. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. Goes for the trade. Is he gonna repeat? He's not. No, it's a draw. Oops. Oof. Let's quickly check. I think in the end it's probably equal. Yeah, it seems like it is. I don't know why this game analysis now is always taking so long. I think it was sort of equal all the time. Actually, it was a pretty decent game overall, I would say. Okay, let me quickly update the score here. So it is 0.5 against 0.5. And now we will have game 2 out of 14 next up. Okay, I will not play any that ridiculous openings, guys. I will need to pay some respect to Markus Ragger, former Super Grandmaster. Yeah, this d6 line is quite interesting. What's the reason for the match? Just an idea by Markus, actually, to have this, and I think it was a nice idea, honestly. So can I go a rematch? Yeah, let's go. Hope he's ready again. So no reason for the match, just a friendly match. That's basically it. All right, let's stick with my Reti. And he goes for g6. Markus typically a Grunfeld player. Let's try c4 in this game. So he goes for the symmetrical. I guess d5 is what he's gonna play. Let's see what he's got here. It's quite a boring line. Oh, knight c6 here. C takes d4 is typically the move which people are playing. Can I go for this here? Looks possible. Looks like a reasonable move. So now he takes on d4. This can become pretty drawish pretty quickly. How do I best do this? Okay, let's take here, go here. Guess bishop g7. It's just nothing. I would like to keep the bishops at the very least, like play something like bishop e3. So if I take here, then king g7, bishop b7, just rook b8, and I don't have anything there. Can I try this? Probably not leading to anything either, but I'll go for it. Could also have tried bishop f4 perhaps. Yeah, Markus is the strongest ever Austrian player. I mean, it depends if you, however you count Steinitz into the list. the first world champion. And of course, Alexenko, who recently changed to Austria as well. But that's a bit of a different story. So, to all of the people who have joined now, did he just go for bishop f6? I even missed the move. Because it's quite a funny idea. Just protects the e7 pawn. But I feel like I might be going somewhere now. But he might play rook b8 next. So let me just take here. Still, if someone is better here, it should be me, but it's not much at all. That's a good move. Rook c2 is coming. Guess I should try this one. Maybe still some tiny questions for him to be answered, but or maybe not. Looks logical. Probably a5 needs to be played. And I guess I should play a4. Just to fix the pawn on a light square. On a dark square. Yeah. Let's go here. Or to a7 actually. Hang on. Why not go to a7? Because now if bishop c3 I can take on e7, but then rook c4. Quite annoying, but I can go for bishop b6. Yeah, I can do that. Then take on a5 on the next move. Maybe, guys, we're gonna see a rook endgame here. Some of you have been watching my recent rook endgame series, where we focused on 3 and 3 against, well, 3 versus 3 on one flank, and then an extra pawn on the queen side as well. Now maybe we're gonna see 4 against 4. I thought now I can take here. Bishop d4 is his idea. Well, at the very least I can take on e7 and try to torture him there. Maybe that's also what I should do here. No, the question is, how do I consolidate? Looks logical. I shouldn't exchange bishops, but my coordination is a bit messed up. And that's of course a good move. Okay, I need to be a bit faster now. Don't like it, but he goes for it though. Well, of course it's a draw, but I will try something. Let's try g4 next. Should be quite a simple draw in my opinion. I getting somewhere? Probably not, but... Yeah, that's a draw. But actually, I read an article. I read Sam Shankland's book about this. When was it? Today or yesterday. But I cannot get what I want here. And the draw. I think I was still not so close on getting the win here. So let's update the OBS quickly. All right. So now next up we have game 3 of 14. And both players have 1 point. I have to do this myself, guys. No extra support in that regard. Okay, so 1-1 is the score. I would say we continue. What do you say? Yeah, he's been Markus has been the second of a couple of Super Grandmasters. Okay. Should we stick to e5? Let's go for the French ones. About the endgames, I think I'm generally quite interested about rook endgames, honestly. Like, they tend to offer quite a lot. Let's try this move order. But there are not many endgames I really despise. Maybe pawn endgames probably the most, because they tend to be incredibly concrete. So I've checked this line some time ago. This was also recommended in my French course with Grandmaster Rainer Buhmann, knight c6. Not the French. Maybe I'm gonna play the London for your next game, Emilia. So this whole line with knight c6 looks a bit strange, because I am doubling my pawns on the queen side, but the idea is to play dynamically with bishop e7 next. Just hope I'm gonna be able to get all of that without getting checkmated on the king side. Guess we're gonna find out together. Let's go here. Bishop h7 is not yet effective. I do have to say though, Emilia, I did not play the London for quite a long time. It's gonna be quite embarrassing. Okay, let's go here. A bit worried about my king side, but don't see any concrete threats just yet. Okay, a3 is not really worrying me that much. Ah, he's gonna play c4. Oof, that's his idea. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, now I'm gonna have to go into my trick chest. I don't know if that's even a word. I'm gonna try something here. Something cheeky. So if he trades all the way to the end game, which I'm sure he does, my idea was to go here. And if rook takes e5, I want bishop e4. Of course he's gonna see it now, and probably I'm gonna lose with some combination, but at least give it to me for the trick. I mean, it's a nice cheapo. Am I gonna get it? Let's try it. Maybe he still has bishop g5, but Is this so bad for me? Probably it is. Probably it is. Well, I have to go for it anyway. Guess we should move forward. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Should be lost here. What do I even do? Bringing the king is typically a good idea in the end game. Bag of tricks, yeah? Bag of tricks is better than the trick chest. He'll be confused about the London, you think so, guys? You really think so? Then I might consider it. Oh, taking is so ugly, because he'll get the A file. But I can maybe try and go for this. Because he still cannot take yet because of some back rank issues. Can go back rook c6 though. Probably should. Do feelings between places and chess variations ever bleed through? Like, do you ever find yourself liking London, the city, less because of London, the chess opening, or something similar? I wouldn't say so, no. I never thought about it that way. Now I can take here though, right? He's gonna play rook c1 or what? I'm gonna go for it. He's just gonna go for this endgame. Wow, that's surprising. That's quite surprising. Now it's a draw. Now it's a draw. Even rook b3 would have been probably the very precise move, but it doesn't really matter. Let's go here. It is a draw, of course. Probably we're gonna agree for a draw in a couple of moves here. I don't think there's anything much left here. D is spending some time for some reason. Okay, let's go here. b7, I go back. That's basically it. Yeah, third draw in a row. Third draw in a row. Tough match. So next up we have game 4 out of 14. And the score is 1.5 to 1.5. All right, I'm ready for the next game. Rematch. Yeah, here black had even 4 pawns, but I didn't. But no side had any material advantage in this rook endgame, so therefore it was quite a simple draw. Yeah, Markus is making sure that I get to promote my rook endgame videos. That's true. Okay, you know what? Let's go for the London. Let's go for the London. Let's start with knight f3 and let's go for this. Haven't played it in such a long time, and I think I might regret it quite quickly. You owe me 10 euros, Emilio. Just saying. I like those endgames from the black side. Like typically I get it from the ready. So this is nothing I really enjoy so much. But it is what it is. At least I made some cash. And I like endgames, so queens are off the board. Felix is happy, you know. He goes for b5. Let's try to go here. He's gonna go knight b6 probably. Knight a4. That would be very strong. Thinking of going e4, but most likely it's just gonna backfire. Yeah, I'm still gonna go for it though. Don't see any other reasonable plan here. How to throw away your opening advantage from the white side. Play the London. That's my best advice for you. Let's try rook e1. Not sure what I'm doing, but either d5 or e5 are like the main central breaks. I thought I would just go rook b1 now. Keep everything protected. But this knight on a4 is very, very annoying. Always need to stay passive now. Unless I get a chance to have some activity now with d5 and e5. Try to use my chance here to mix things up a little bit. But the thing is, I'm not even threatening anything because the d6 pawn is protected. But maybe I can take and then go knight e4 next. If I ever had to under-promote to a rook, knight, bishop in a game before, in a classical game? I don't think so, actually. Don't think so. Has it happened to you guys before? I'm curious. Doesn't happen that often, I would say. Don't think it happened to me. Yeah, this is not turning out the way I would like it to at all. Maybe it's not so bad yet. Ketchup or mustard? That's the best question of tonight for sure, so far. Definitely mustard. 100%. Okay, let's try g4. Yeah, tutorial how to lose your opening advantage with white. Play the London. Yeah, this is a strategical nightmare. Should I keep the bishop here? Probably. If knight d6, bishop c2 back. Still shouldn't be in any trouble here, actually. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with my position either. d5 pawn could be a bit weak, but... Well, that's annoying. Guess rook d1. I'd like to play f4 at some point too. Does restrict my bishop on h2, but it does firmly protect the e5 knight. It goes here. My idea is now to go back to c2. Let's try f4. Maybe it's a bad move, but so he waits. That's good news. Let's try to slowly improve our position. Maybe h4, h5. I think he's feeling some pressure here. How do I improve my position from here on? Could try something on the... Could try something on the king side. Let me do this. Huh. It's going after my d5 pawn after all. Guess I have to sacrifice it. Oh, blundered that. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Not good at all. Don't even have any ideas on the king side now. And bishop g7. Oh. Of course, I'm completely lost here, yeah? And rook c5 and resign. Or this. Yeah, Emilia, your fault. What can I say? Never again to London. But to be fair, my position was probably quite good at some moment. Okay, next game is the 5th one. And Markus took the lead. Now counting 2.5 to 1.5. Let's see if I'm able to come back in the next one. Yeah, it's just casual game, so we're not so strict with anti-cheating measures, as you can imagine. Let's try the King's Indian. My King's Indian course is coming out in the next few days, by the way. So I'm just gonna play my recommendation, which is the line with knight a6. Let's see what he's got here. Is he gonna play rook e1? That's too bad. I was hoping for it. I was hoping to see rook e1. There, I gave a pretty nice idea. He goes for this line, which is also quite annoying. Ah, this one. I've never seen that before. And it shouldn't be critical. e4 looks quite normal. I also don't think that after e takes d4 it can be in any danger. This can go wrong quite quickly for him. The knight d2, f5. What is the Nimzo Zimbabwe defense? Never heard about that before. Please enlighten me. Yeah, so he is stopping me from getting f4, obviously. Now it's gonna be some closed position. Don't really want to take on f4 on passant. But otherwise, where's my counterplay? Okay, I'm gonna go for it. If knight takes f3, f4 I'm relying on. Hopefully without blundering anything. Now hopefully h6. Then g5, if I'm in time for that. Yeah, what is the Zimbabwe defense? This is what we're all wondering tonight. Okay, now g5. Okay. Ah, he gets the e6 square. Then maybe here. Or just to d7. Then, yeah, he doesn't have queen c2 yet. Because of knight b4. So I think I can do that. What is the Zimbabwe defense? That's the question for tonight. Yeah, so how do I get rid of those threats? I guess just by taking and going here. Obviously, I have the better structure, like long-term speaking, but he is restricting my knight on a6 by quite a lot, and his light squared bishop is quite strong too, so I don't like my position that much, to be honest. Also, my knight on a6 is just a terrible piece. Okay, let's make some random move. But I don't see a move which I can make after c5, honestly. He goes for some simplifications. Actually happy to see that. Could take on f5 next, and then knight b8, and slowly try to get out of the knight's misery on a6. Okay, I think finally we need to admit to ourselves that this knight belongs somewhere else. c5 is still very annoying if it comes. I can't avoid it either. Still doesn't go for it for some reason though. Let's try to play knight f6 next. I like this move. Can this be so bad for me? Maybe, but I'm playing for a fortress here. Let's see if it's successful or not. Okay, I'll just continue waiting here. I'm still waiting. Not the most enterprising of all King's Indian games, that's for sure. But I was able to hold the draw in the end. Okay, still I need to win some games. So, next up, game 6. Current score, +1 for Markus. 3 points for him. And 2 points for me. I love Markus' facial expressions. I can see them here. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, let's go. No more London. Too many draws. Yeah, what can I say? It's the Austrian style. Okay, let's stick to my usual stuff. No more London. What is he gonna do here? Ah, this line. I thought that this is supposed to be very pleasant for white with queen e5. Last time I checked. Queen's Gambit Austrian variation would be hilarious. I don't think there is something like that just yet, but maybe tonight we can invent some of that. The thing with the London is, which is actually quite sad because I used to play a lot of London like some 8-7 years ago. 8, yeah. I would say it's about like 8 years ago. When I just became a FIDE master, and back then no one was really playing it, and you could just get a game without any theory whatsoever. But the thing is, in the meantime, the London has become just a major theoretical opening, and everyone knows their way around that. There are many concrete lines where black can try to challenge white spy. So it's a bit annoying. How do I get the most out of this? Plays very natural moves here. Is knight a4 an idea? Looks a bit strange, but go for it. I'm thinking of maybe getting knight c5 in. Also, it's not so clear where his queen is actually going to. Should definitely have some pressure here though. Even queen c5 is a move, but because knight c5 he maybe has bishop d5. Even though the move itself looks right. If bishop d5 I'm relying on queen takes e7. Then I have some discoveries. That was the idea of bishop g2 knight e6. Wins the queen. And I'm not sure how he can actually defend against that. I think this should be pretty good for me. Yeah, guys, go to Markus' stream if you want to practice your German and simultaneously your chess skills. Of course. Markus is streaming quite regularly, so especially if you're speaking German and would like to follow another German-speaking person, Probably a good idea to do so. All right. What about this move? Looks natural. Knight takes d5, queen e5. I have knight d6 for sure, which is winning, but do I have anything better than that? Queen b7 is also good, but seems like the cleanest. This, but now I can take on f6. What is my best solution here? Honestly, that should do, yeah. I don't know if this was the best solution, but... this one. Completely missed that. Yeah, that was extremely unnecessary. I have queen b2, of course. Still, I shouldn't have given this to him. Has to be still winning, of course. Yes, rook takes f2 coming. Also queen f5, yeah. Starting to become a little bit concerned about my king side. Okay, let's try to get rid of the queens and then hopefully we'll be able to win that. How many pawns are we up actually at this moment? 3 pawns up. Should be enough. Let's take another one. Don't want this pawn to get to h3. Okay, I won on time, yeah. This should have been way easier, but he put up a good fight in the end. So I was able to equalize the match, finally. Oof. So, equal score. Felix 3, and now we have upcoming game 7. Oops. The match has been equalized. All right, next one. Markus' face indicates that it's winning for white, yeah? Yeah, finally able to equalize the match. Maybe we can try to use the momentum now. Felix for the SEC next year, I think there's still a little bit missing for that. So actually, I recorded the video about the FIDE World Cup today. I recorded almost 1.5 hour video about the best opening ideas of the FIDE World Cup. And one thing which I've analyzed there is sort of a whole repertoire actually against the Italian based on ideas with G6, which was played by Niels Grandelius in his match against Hare Krishna. And this is actually one of the lines which Niels had in that game, A4 and G6. I've recorded it just today, so why not try it out? The best line here was Queen B3 and then Queen E7, A5, but goes for that. And generally, if white is not very quick in those positions, I was not that concerned. Because often I have some ideas with counterplay. But maybe it's not so simple here. Okay, let's just play some coffee house chess tonight. Knight H5, Queen F6, let's go. Definitely not the way you're supposed to play the Italian. Okay, it goes for some exchanges, which are typically not bad for me. Am I still gonna go for this? I mean, strategically speaking, of course, it's a terrible move, but what else am I doing? Looks strange, but let's try this. Should be 7. Did I blunder something? Like my queen is in not such a great situation there. But maybe it's time to actually go for G5. Ah, but then Knight G5. I missed that. Well, that doesn't really leave me a choice. If Knight G5, I have to go back. I don't really play a lot of online chess, to be honest. Like recently, I've just lacked the time. Like generally for streaming, I would generally like to stream more, but at least in this year, I just didn't happen to find the time for it because I'm coaching quite a lot. Of course, I produce, at least now in this period of the year, I produce quite a lot of videos. And generally what I prefer about being able to produce the videos is that I can make sure that the material is as close, as good as I can possibly get it in most cases, because I can prepare it for quite some time and I can cut it, retake some of the things as well. So yeah, goes for Knight H2. Okay, I'm just gonna play it fast here because, like always in this online chess, which is of course a bit annoying on one hand, of course, as well, is that time matters quite a lot. I tend to be quite a slow player, so therefore I'm often struggling with this. But if I can try to do that a bit better today, might have some chances in the match. My position is bad, of course. Like, there's no doubt about that. I guess my plan with b6 and bishop e7 was also not that great. Maybe it's time to regroup the bishop again. I was worried about this. Probably have to take and go back. G5. Maybe knight G8. Well, it's bad. What can I say? It's very bad. Actually, knight G4 was there, which was stronger. So he goes for this. Okay, I should still try to play as fast as possible. Actually, rook F3 is quite concerning in this position. I don't want to play rook h8. Yeah, that's annoying. I mean, that's way too much, yeah. Rook h8 is really a sad move. But okay. Even h6 is hanging, you can still take it, yeah. But at least then I can sort of untangle a little bit. So embarrassing the way I'm playing in this game. Like, actually terrible. Oh my god. F3 was also a good move. Well, I will take my chances with the opposite color bishops. Still not without any chances here. Oh, there's a checkmate threat on g8, which I was just lucky to spot. And now I've also blundered this, of course. Queen e3 was ridiculous. Okay, let's try our best here. Might actually be a draw. Oof, that was so close. Again, very close. Now g5 is lost. Yeah, or like this. Yeah, I think the endgame should be a draw, though. I'm quite sure it is, but it was very difficult with such low time to hold it. It's such a close match, yeah? Incredible. Incredible. Okay, next game is game 8. We've reached the half mark. So let's go. Yeah, I saw a question about the Artur Yusupov books, because I mentioned on the Chess Nerds channel that it helped me gain a lot of rating, and that's actually the case. Like I was not lying there. So it did help me gain quite a lot of rating, and I was able to sort of become FIDE master with that. Like I was at around 1900, and then I worked through all of those books quite seriously, and then I became a FIDE master. Of course, I was also looking at other things, but d-takes c4 is the main move here. I don't think that this is so precise for black, because I get to take on f6 and then go knight c3. And now if he takes d-takes c, and he's not able to win back the d pawn. Gotta come back in this game. So he goes knight d7. Rook c1 looks normal. Looks very normal. That's the idea to go knight b6, I'm assuming. Okay, let's try to protect this pawn as well as we can. Thanks, Eugene. It was nice to have you here. Have a good night. Knight b6. Just gonna castle. I don't think taking on c4 would be a good idea for him. Bishop d7. Okay. Let's play queen e2. Such an unusual position. Not really clear what either of us are doing, but I don't know if at some moment I should go for d4. Let's put the rook to d1. This cannot really be bad. Yeah, this is actually a reversed Queen's Indian, since someone pointed it out in the chat. This line. I'm checking quite a lot of those knight f3 b3s lately. I still have the plan to make a video about it on YouTube, like accessible for everyone, not even an exclusive video, but it takes a lot of time, so still it needs to be done at some point. I mean, I want to go here, but queen a5. Such an unusual position in general. Still feel like taking with the pawn has to be the right move. And such an unusual position. Let's go e4. Plays e6. Some worries that my center is gonna come in under a lot of fire. E5 or not? Not sure about this. Also, if e5, I'm not sure if I'm going to take with the knight or with the pawn, actually. e6, interesting. No, knight e4. Looks like a good move. Cannot take on e5 now because of knight takes e5, rook takes e5, knight f6 check. That was my whole point. Otherwise, knight d6 seems like a nasty threat. So he's trying to sacrifice the exchange, which is actually a very good idea. Okay. I don't like the way this game is progressing. d4, c4. I gotta move. And the end game is also not great for me. Oof, this is not good news at all. Absolutely terrible what I've done to my position. The pawns are not going anywhere here. Just bishop d7. Even b4 is possible. What am I doing? Yeah, this game was really terrible after some point. Like, I should have a good position. I'm basically a pawn up, so yeah, it's just like +1, which is not that surprising. +2. 94 was wrong. Guess I could just go for d6 as well. I gave him unnecessarily this chance and he used it nicely. I should even not go for queen d6. Anyway, we should get to the next game. I still have chances to come back. So now we have game 9 out of 14, but I need to be fast because Markus has 5 points. Okay. Hang on, did I just close the window? No, it's all good. All right, next game. Let's go for my other childhood weapon, apart from the King's Indian, which is the Bogo Indian, which I've also played for quite a long time already. Only white wins in this match. Yeah, almost, I believe. Almost. Let's try this line, which has been played quite a lot recently by Pragnananda, among others. And I think that this is exactly what white should typically avoid from what I got taught here. But maybe it's possible to play like this with King F1. I think there was a game between Rajabov and Pragnananda here, if I'm not mixing things up too badly. Is Markus a full-time chess coach / player? He was around 2700 at his peak and is now below 2600. Is it rating deflation that caused this? Certainly, that's certainly a thing. On the other hand, it's of course also age. Like, Markus is not old by any means. He's now in his mid-30s, but still, if you have kids and many things going on in your life, then it just becomes very difficult to manage all of those things. So what is Markus doing? This is not his style. To play h4, h5, rook h4. It's not his style. Go c5. Well, now at least d4 is protected, but should I go for a strange stone wall here? I think I'll try it. Probably not the healthiest move in the position, but interesting enough, and he needs to worry about knight takes e4 now. Knight takes d4. If knight c3 or knight d2, I'm probably not taking on d4, but going f5. And I thought here I could take on d4, but maybe he just moves the queen somewhere. Probably doesn't work. Definitely doesn't work. Huh. Well then, it's ugly, but what to do? Queen a5. We believe. That's great to hear. Last games have not been going so well, but still feel like overall the match is actually quite equal. He plays knight c3. Should I take and go e5 or f5? Generally, Stonewall tends to be not such a great position. So I think it's time to take care. Then try to play e5. Have to beat c3, e5 was my idea, at least. I don't think he's gonna checkmate me on the king side. Like, as long as rook g4 is not possible, I should be good. And I have the better structure. Maybe bishop e6 could run into f4, so let's go c6 here. Unclear position, this is my assessment. Do we still coach? Kids, not so much, since that was your question. Generally, I don't coach kids that often. Mostly coach ambitious improvers. And now my idea was f6. Hope it works. Which is making his pawn structure, which is repairing his pawn structure, but I'm getting some open fouls. Which I was hoping to use for my pieces. Maybe bishop f5. Well, now starting to look pretty good for me. Bishop e4 to come. Strategically speaking. I don't think that there's a rush for me. Unless he plays f5. Which can lead to quite annoying counterplay, actually. Don't really like what I did to my position here. It looked pretty good for me. Just 2 moves ago, but I completely underestimated his f5 idea. f7, king f8, I should be safe. That's a tricky move. I'm flagging here. Is it still a draw in the end? Probably not. Sorry, he lost at this point. I was too slow in that game. So 6-3. Shouldn't have lost that one either. That's for sure. So now we have game 10 out of 14. Now I need to be careful. We are entering losing territory. Should have been pretty good for me at some point. But I really underestimated his play with f5 and f6, and after that it did get quite tricky because my king was always quite weak. Okay, let's stick to my usual stuff. He still hasn't shown anything that great there. Now he's thinking. What is the best reply to knight f3, b3? So he goes for this. But this is generally also not supposed to be the greatest of all ways to play it. Now we have some strange type of Schlechter Slav, which I actually had in the Czech league. There I did not have b3 and bishop e2, which is even better for me, but also here it typically leads to quite a pleasant position for white. Not much, of course, but thinking of putting my bishop to d3. Maybe a3, b4 is another idea. So I have to go here. I've seen this one Korchnoi game at some point, and it made a big impression on me. He went knight b1, and then knight d2, knight f3. So I'm gonna try his plan out here. Goes a4. So maybe here I'm not fully in time to get the plan, but well, c5 would be quite a typical way of replying to that. But let's go knight d2 anyway. About all coaching inquiries, just shoot me a message through my website. There's like a contact field there, and I'll be happy to answer your questions there. I think it's time to close everything up in the center. c5, f4. And then try and play for space. Bishop pair doesn't really matter much in this position, I would say. And bishop on b2 is not so great. But of course he's very solid. That's his main advantage in this position. I should be clearly better though. Should I play g4? I'll go for it. Huh. Wants to put the knight to b5. Is that possible? Should I take it then? It will give him the weak b5 pawn, but not sure if I can go after it. Bishop b2 is probably a healthier move, so I'm just gonna go for it. Then taking on b5. I feel like after taking on b5, his position will be a bit easier to play. No, I thought I would go for this endgame, at least offered to go for this endgame. Which, yeah, I'm actually not sure he should go for that. Let me close up everything on the king side. Is this a move? Not sure it is, but Oh, this is gonna be not so easy to win, actually. Let's go here. Threaten b5 and pinning the knight on a6. Oh yeah, maybe he can put up a fortress here. That is, of course, a danger. You know what? I'm still gonna go for it. Probably a bad decision though. Just thinking of maybe having some tricks still. But e4 is probably not happening anytime soon. Of course, I'm still gonna try to win this somehow, even though the position is now equal. e4 is risky. Yeah, nothing much is gonna happen in this game anymore. Like if I play e4, it could also backfire for sure. Yeah, 50 moves, yeah. I was surely much better, but it was quite difficult to break through in that game. I see many of you guys have been commenting. What are you drinking? Did you take a shot from the company of Switzerland? I actually did not. Maybe that's why things are not going as well. So let me just quickly update the score. So Markus just needs another win, then he actually won the match. So now I need to start winning. Will I be able to celebrate a comeback? What do you think, guys? No, I'm not gonna play in the World Rapid and Blitz this year. That's for sure already. I decided not to play this year because I was always at this tournament, like for the past couple of years, and decided to have a break at some point from all of that. So he's going for the Alapin. Let's invite him for a French advance. Of course, he doesn't go for it. So now we have this line, which Korchner used to be quite a big expert on in those endeavors. And generally, I always felt like this is definitely playable for black. On the other hand, it's not going to be so easy to create some winning chances here. guess. Let's try this move. Not sure it's good, but it looks active, at the very least. You talked about having problems in the airplane at the World Cup because of your height. Yeah, I'm. I guess in the American measurement, it's something like 6'3". It's last time I measured, it was a couple of days ago. A couple of years ago, it was like 193 or 194. So I thought that this was not possible, actually. Like, at least it looked very risky for him. But he has queen c5, which I missed. And here he has queen takes f5, which I've also missed. So what am I going to do now? Thought it's all gonna work out okay for me, but I guess I have to go into this. Queen c5 is annoying, yeah? Very annoying. Okay, I'm gonna have to suffer in some endgame. Try my luck in the next one. Ah, queen takes f5, still he has that move. Of course. But do I have some trick here? No, I don't. Completely hallucinating. Let's try this move. Yeah, winning this is gonna be quite a challenge. I mean, I have to be careful not to lose this. Yeah, in the past game, I saw that you were commenting at some point that I could have attacked the b5 pawn, but I think he always has knight a7. I think he always had knight a7 there. Yeah, that's highly annoying. I have some drawing chances here, but it's not really the outcome I was hoping for this game. His bishop is a bit strange here. Let's try to fix his pawns. Still, I don't really see myself winning this, at least not in this universe. How well do you know Markus? That's a great question. We know each other for quite some time already. He was, or actually still is, the national coach of the Austrian team. And I've worked with him for quite some time already. I think the first time he coached me was maybe 2018, so 7 years. And we've played in the national team on numerous occasions. And overall, I'm very fortunate to have a very friendly relationship with him. Probably shouldn't have done that. Some tricks. Still, if he goes rook e1, I was about to say that I should still probably repeat here. And if I'm not informed correctly, I should be able to have another chance. So this is game 12 out of 14. And if Markus now makes another half point against me, then it's all over. So, guess I should stick to my stuff. Yeah, trading the rooks would probably also be an easy draw because he did have all of his pawns fixed on light squares. But yeah, I didn't really see the reason to go to that. I think you're supposed to play like this with white and go to some strange King's Indian. Yeah, g6 I have not seen before. Let's play it in some Queen's Indian type of style. Only downside is that many pieces come off the board, but at least many pawns stay on the board. People are often playing it like this. Maybe this is safer, not to blunder any knight e4 jumps. Which probably doesn't work anyway, but no need to risk that. Black is fine here, obviously, yeah, like no question about that. Let's try fixing his pawns on the queen side. Maybe I can think about playing rook a4. Ah, he goes for this. So now if d4, knight takes e4 probably works. But what if I go here? Okay, let's just do it. Bit worried about some checks, but I think as long as I don't go e4, I should be fine. Queen c6, e4, maybe, no, it shouldn't work. Knight takes e4, take. Queen takes e4 and f3 I have. Yeah, I've mentioned Korchnoi in this stream already. And yeah, I do like to study the classics for sure. Not sure if e4 is right, but I spent quite a lot of time studying some classics actually. Especially since I also like to show classics to my students, because I feel like there's generally quite a lot of value in the classics. That would be a terrible move. Let's go here. I think I have a promising position. Looks like a dream King's Indian to me. It goes for this. Guess g4. If h3, I might just take the pawn. I mean, he will get the h file, but my king looks reasonably safe there. I need to win 3 games in a row now, by the way, just to have that said. I thought I can cover everything like this. But yeah, he's not without tricks here. Like if this, rook h3, rook h3, queen g4, rook g3, should be fine. I could also think about b4 at the right moment. Because my queen on b2 is the only thing which is worrying me. That it's not really taking part in the game. I think now is a good time to go for f5. Should I get my queen around or play for b4? Maybe b4. I should have a winning position here, like also knight e5, knight f3 is possible. What is he trying to do there? It's getting a bit tricky. I don't know about this, but I want to cover the f4 square. Not allow queen f4. Even though queen f4 could probably also be answered by rook f1, and he goes for the sacrifice. Guess I should take. Looks very scary though. I don't think I'm getting checkmated right away, but it's quite close. g5, yeah. So I'll have this move. Okay, let's take the pawn. I still don't see his threat, but I... Oof. That's a killer blow. That is nice. Yeah, now I'm lost. Now I'm lost. Well, maybe not lost. Maybe it's still a draw, but I don't think I have any chances to win this game. Yeah. Congrats to Markus, who won the match by quite a big margin, actually. I would say that the match itself was not as clear as the final standing indicates. Let me update it quickly. So that was game 12 out of 14, and he beat me 8-4. So congrats to Markus. I hope that we can continue this another time where hopefully I'll be able to come back stronger. And now let me answer a couple of your remaining questions. Please try to play more tricky openings. In general, I feel like the openings worked out quite well, but in some of the games I was pretty low on time, and Markus did manage to find always some pretty nice defensive ideas and a lot of nice tricks, like for example in this game. I mean, that was pretty cool. This rook takes c2 idea, I completely missed that. But already it might be actually quite tricky for me because I'm almost in Zugzwang here. Like I don't really see another move which I can make in this position. Maybe rook g2 I could play. But then rook takes g2, rook takes h3. Maybe this all works out, yeah. Maybe I should have gone for rook g2 here, but I completely missed his idea with rook c2. You can try, Emilia. You can try offering that to him, but I'm not sure he's gonna accept your gift. So, at what age and how did you start playing chess? I started playing when I was 5.5 years old in kindergarten. So there was this program in Austria, chess in the kindergarten, and there was sort of like a chess teacher there, and the kids were taught, and that's how I first got into contact with chess. Are you mated after taking on h3? You mean here to take on h3 and king f2? Does look incredibly scary. Like, also I'm wondering why not king e2. It would look a little bit more safe, not to run into queen g3, for example. Like, for example, I would say that this is lost and queen g2. Maybe there's rook e1 still, though. Yeah. Maybe I can start with this. If king e1, it's probably the same. Yeah. After queen c1, you're saying? So here I'm guessing, yeah, after f6 to take and go king f2. Yeah, that's probably much better than in the game, yeah. Here I also don't see how it actually continues. Queen h2, just rook g2. And if rook h2, also rook g2, and it's just a piece up probably here. No, I realized it should be winning earlier, but it was low on time and did feel a little bit scary. Actually, not so low on time, like I should be able to see that. Yeah, playing e5 does have the downside, also instead of queen c1, that he has queen c6, which actually immediately is a checkmate. So I saw this idea as well, but queen c6 is unfortunate. Yeah, as I said earlier, guys, if you have any inquiries about coaching, make sure to reach out through my website, felixboberger.com. You can find it in the description. And yeah, that's it for today. It's already quite late. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Big thanks to Markus. Make sure to check out his socials. His Twitch is linked down in the description down below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I really hope that we'll get to continue this some other time. So stay tuned. The opening idea video about the FIDE World Cup is most likely going to drop tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. A lot of work has been put into this one. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for